All right, welcome everyone. So actually, if you are watching this, I was talking for the last 15 minutes, but something went wrong with Zoom and there was no sound. So I decided to start over the recording for this week, which is kind of a bummer, but that's okay. We're just gonna roll with it. So here's our agenda for today. And I'm not going to get into so much of here's my office hours. You guys can see them on the screen, everything else. But I did have one announcement I wanted to go over, and then we're really going to get into your personal brand today. So let's take a look at the announcements. I believe the only one in there is from yesterday with our live session. But I did add a attachment. Oh, now it's just showing up. I did add an attachment in case if anybody was having trouble seeing the live, the Learning Coaches flyer. I added it as an attachment as well to the announcement. But it's showing up now. Weird technology issues today. And yeah, we're gonna go over your personal brand. And I was saying to myself, and the dog, I guess, that I'm going to get into Adobe Sketch a little bit more today, you know, doing some sketches in the program, and I'll share my iPad on the screen so I can show you. But one of the things I was saying is that if you even just pick up a really cheap stylus, like I bought a box of 10 of them for like $2 or something on Amazon. And I was like, well, maybe they'll be okay. And if they're crappy, I guess that they were $2 was kind of my rationale. But they're actually pretty good. And, you know, they work pretty well with the Adobe Sketch program. So I'm kind of gonna get into that. I don't use it a ton, but I find it's pretty awesome for doing things like this, you know, sketching out some logo concepts, you know, for our personal brand today. And then I also had some tips and tricks I wanted to go over, you know, for coming up with ideas for artwork, things like that. So my office hours are Monday through Wednesday, 7 a.m. Mountain Time to 2 p.m. Mountain Time, but you can email me anytime. Just note that I'm located in Eastern Standard Time Zone. If you're waiting to hear back from me late at night, it'll probably be the next morning. As far as due dates, everything is due by Saturday for full credit. Make sure you're communicating if your work is going to be late. Also, if you have any late or outstanding work from week 2, that's discussion or assignment or assessment, that closes out this Saturday. Your week 4 assignments cannot be turned in late. If there's any problem, please email me immediately, and I will take it via email as long as it's there first thing in the morning. And assignment redos, you can redo an assignment or assessment one time for a better grade on the weeks that are still open. And those resubmissions are due next Tuesday. Our schedule is live sessions are Mondays and Tuesdays at 11:30 a.m. If you do need any outside help, the Student Success Center is open with tutoring available and no appointment is necessary. And then I was getting into why am I just the questions. And I was saying that there used to be 4 questions and they took the what's the thing that makes me weird question off in the course. And it's kind of a bummer because I thought that was a fun question to answer. So I kept it on the slides for you guys, you know, just in case if you want to answer that yourselves before you start doing your sketches for this week. But I was going to go over my answers really quickly. So why am I a designer? I'm a designer because I want to solve problems. And it's the same reason that I used to like math in high school. I used to really like algebra, which is kind of weird. Everybody supposedly hates algebra, but I loved algebra because there was, you know, it was finding the way to figure out a solution to the problem. You know, there was always a correct way to go about doing things where you came up with an answer. And I feel like you kind of take the same path with graphic design. It's not always a straight line. You know, sometimes it's A times B plus C minus D to get the answer in graphic design as well. And then the other thing was, why do I believe design is important? And I honestly think that, you know, really great design can change the world. And, you know, if we look at, you know, some really iconic designs from history, maybe the Woodstock poster or the Obama Hope poster, you know, those are posters that were just a thought in a graphic designer's mind, and now they're iconic. We remember those. What's the thing that makes me weird? I can put together a layout in my head in probably a minute. Like the layout yesterday for the pizza shop. I came up with that on the fly and put that together in my head in a minute before I put it on the screen. Kind of weird. Why would someone hire me? Well, I believe in clean design solutions. I believe in designing to a grid. I believe in using typefaces that are easy to read. So if that's something that a client is looking for, I think they would hire me. If they wanted something that was like a really, you know, punk rock poster that looked like, you know, newspaper clippings and all put together on a page, sure, I could do that, but it might not be my first instinct, depending on what it was that they were, you know, what kind of a business that they were. All right, with that being said, I basically went through 15 minutes of yammering on in 5 to get us back to where we were before I realized that I was talking to the dog. I am going to share my iPad screen, so hold on one moment. See if it opens everything up again. All right, looks like we're there. Hip hip hooray. All right, so right now, I am in Adobe Sketch, which I don't know if you've downloaded it, but you can download the Adobe programs. It's obviously not full versions of the Adobe programs, but there's Adobe Sketch is this really great sketching program that allows you to kind of import your designs back into your own Creative Suite. So it's going to prompt you to log in, and you're going to want to log in as the same exact username that you use for your Creative Suite. So keep that in mind, because that way they'll talk to each other and they'll connect. I don't use this all the time, but I find that it's a really cool program. So you can see you need to make sure you're in there with your correct Adobe ID. And then you can go and find, well, you know, projects that you've done before. Clearly, you know, this is not the best project. So I just had a blank canvas going here. Oh, I trust you. It never tells me, like, there we go. Like, do you trust this computer actually on my iPad, which would be helpful. So I like to draw in the ink pen right here. I find that it works best, honestly. If, you know, you can download actual brushes and, oh, let me just turn that off. I was like, I feel like I can hear my children for some reason. I forgot I had the monitor down here. And then if you click over as far left as you can go, that brings up the size where you can change the point size. Drag it out so I'm at 11 point. You can change the flow, the color. So you can change it to be black. For some reason, mine was defaulting in some weird teal. And if you hit the little 3 lines with the dots, you can open up everything. So if it's kind of hard to see what's going on. You can even change, you know, the pressure. There we go. And then up here, where it shows the triangle and the circle, you can open that up and there's actual physical shapes that you can pull out and use. So if I know that I need a circle, I can kind of change the dimensions of the circle. And then I'm just kind of drawing around the inside. Oh, stay. Yes, I trust you. I still trust you. The inside of the circle to make a good circle shape. So, you know, you can zoom in, just kind of pinch with your fingers and zoom yourself in. So I want to come up with a logo type for a blog I'm going to start, let's say. And it's called Work Yeah Mama, which is kind of I don't know where I came up with it. I came up with it a couple of years ago and I was like, work, yeah, mama. Like if you were yelling it, like I thought of like a toddler screaming all of those words, which would mean my toddler would want to actually say all of those words when I asked her to. Which means that won't happen. So one of the things that I thought would kind of be fun would be to maybe have, you know, a picture or something of maybe a baby's face with a pacifier or something. Just, and my sketches can be horrible. Like I'm not a really good sketch person. Less pressure. That's not helping. And then maybe have the words going around. And some of your sketches, this thing, can really be as rudimentary as this when you're trying to come up with ideas. You can add in images. So let's say that, you know, you want to take a photo and import it in. That's something that you could do. Once you're done with it, you can share it to the Adobe Desktop app. So you could bring it into Illustrator and clean it up. That's an option. So that's one of my ideas. I'm going to just close this for a second and it saves it. Make another one. I've just been doing the square. So maybe what I want to do is maybe do something where, see, it's totally defaulting to this weird color. There we go. Where you know, something like that happens. That's, oh, it's like the minute I look down, that thing comes up on my screen. Something like that happens on the page. And again, each time I do a sketch, it saves it automatically. So you can close it and that'll save your sketch. And then you can kind of bring them all in. Now, what if, what are some things, you know, again, like thinking of a mom blog or a mom social media account, you know, like maybe a sippy cup or a bottle that spilled and the words look like spilled milk, you know, that's something. So, and again, I'm thinking inside the circle. which may seem a little weird, but I'm, you know, just trying to kind of think inside of a circle here. So here's my circle. I don't know why I can't remember that I don't want that color. So here's my circle, and then maybe the bottle starts to break the plane of the circle, and then the words kind of start to look like spilled milk. Oh, did it again. It's as soon as I start drawing. There we go. You're probably like, with drawing skills like this, how did she ever not just get into fine art? We all have our skills. So something like along those lines where, you know, obviously this is messy now. And I would bring these ideas into Illustrator and try to come up with some illustrations. Close that. So let's, you know, let's bring some of these in. See if it even, last time I did this, I think it opened up on my other computer for no reason whatsoever. So I wasn't even on that computer. So hopefully, there we go. Well, I don't see you. Let me see if it sent it to my other computer. That's not even on. That's the weirdest thing. It's like sleeping over here. It's sleeping so much that it won't even wake up. It's been so long. Come on. Technology is not my friend today. That is for sure. Oh. Send to reply files. All right, well, that worked at least. All right, so here's my sketch. Clearly not my best work, but I can clean it. I can clean this up in Illustrator if I decide that this is a direction that I want to go in. You see what I mean? So I'm going to close out my iPad and give this a break. It doesn't want to play nice anyways with my computer. This would be completely fine as a sketch. It's an idea. Sketches are ideas. So don't think like, you know, your sketches need to look like masterpieces. I'm more looking for your concept is there, you know, and that the concept is going to work. Not so much the sketch itself, you know, except if I can't tell what's going on, you know, then that's never great. But that's really what I'm looking for. It doesn't need to be, you know, a masterpiece. So let's lock my sketch layer and make a new layer. And then I'm gonna just start to work over this layer. But I wanted to show you guys some ideas because we can't use clip art. You can't redraw clip art. But let's say that you're really good at illustrating, but you need to look at a photo in order to illustrate. I understand that. You know, I have no problem if you want to find a picture of something and then draw that picture in Illustrator because it'll make your life easier. That's completely fine. Like, this is a good bottle to use. So I'm going to download that and draw it in Illustrator. It's like, do you want more pictures of pregnant ladies? No, I'm good. Thanks. And then I want to see if there's a font spilled ink. Yeah, all right. Spilled ink might look like spilled milk, I guess, right? Oh, that could work. See? Perfect. So these are, you know, some of the ways that I do things. So, you know, I always like to do a demo where I can kind of show you a couple of ways around. My husband is a really big illustrator. He's a person where if he sketched that out for us, if for the class, it would look exactly like how it was supposed to look as the logo because he's really good at it. However, I know my limitations. And if you're not a great illustrator, that's okay. So I'm gonna say work, yeah, mama logo. Put that up. And I like to put all of the things that are gonna go along with, you know, putting this whole thing together in my folder so that way I know where everything is. Install my font. Perfect. This time I am going to mute myself real quick, but I promise I will unmute myself. I just have to blow my nose. And back. Now hopefully you can understand me, although I feel like I still sound the same. All right, so let's go back into Illustrator. And I have that sketch layer that I did. I'm gonna import, I'm gonna put a new layer in and import or place that photo I downloaded. That's why it's always good to keep your files organized because you know exactly where everything is. You're not scrolling through all your downloads to try to find something. And I don't need it to be ginormous. Just big enough to draw. I'm gonna place that where I want it. And then before I even start drawing this, I'm gonna put the text in because I wanna make sure I draw the bottle to where I want it to link up to the text. So, let's see. It was just called ink, I think. Oh, split ink. I don't, what on earth is going on? There we go. And maybe I can get that onto kind of a weird curve. So normally I would use a circle to make my nice curve, but I don't really want a nice curve. You know, I want something that kind of just looks wrong, honestly. I'm going to turn these to outlines and just kind of move them around. And I do want it to stay within the size of a circle. Because again, when we were looking yesterday at, I apologize, my dog is dreaming, apparently. When we were looking yesterday at the different social media, you know, everything is kind of in a circle. I want to stay within that shape. My layers. Turn this layer off for a second. It's getting a little distracting. So that is my size. Lock you. All right. And then, let's see. Maybe an exclamation point. Now remember, this is going to be my my black and white concept. And normally I would say do not skew fonts, but this is such a weird font that I almost feel like it's okay. You know, it's not like it's Futura and it's really well drawn or something. There we go. Come on. There's like so many points. It's almost hard to grab anything. Let's move you over here. So there's a lot more that you can see that really goes into it than just typesetting. I feel like you can definitely read work, yeah, and you know that's what it says, but the mama's throwing me off. Maybe. I think we're on the right track. I also think that maybe like it's kind of very subtly connected, so I almost feel like something needs to connect over here. Maybe not. That A needs to go into the M a little bit. I don't know. And the bottle can go right. That. Kind of want the bottle to be nested right in. Needs to be turned just a bit. And maybe a couple of more like splats. Like I wonder what just a period looks like. That's not fun. No. Really? Oh, that's why. On the wrong font. Why? That's bizarre. I don't know if anybody can see this. I'm doing a symbol and it's going to Myriad Pro. I don't know if it's because they don't have that symbol, but no, because they clearly have symbols. All right, so that's pretty cool. That's coming along. It fits in my circle. And just move it over just a smidge. And save it, because that was a whole bit of a to-do. I think I want the W. I need to save this, but I think I want the W to be just a little bit smaller. File, save as. All right. And save. All right, so now I'm gonna draw that bottle. So I'm going to put that on a different layer too. I'm gonna make a new layer. Make sure everything else is. I'm actually gonna turn off my other layers. Be bottle. This is exercise. I can turn that on. No, I'll keep that on. So I know in the past I've like drawn down here and I don't even need it. All right, so again, I am going to just, why are you, oh, I know why. Like, why does this look weird? Now, when I trace something, I like to pick a color, honestly, instead of black, because sometimes it can just get distracting, and that's just me, but you know, obviously do your own thing. Try to use as few points as possible because you want this to be a clean illustration. You don't want there to be a gazillion points where when it starts to get larger, it's not going to, you know, you'll be able to see the points. And if you're not a good illustrator and this calls for a good illustration, then don't do an illustration. But something else that you might be able to do is, where is my pencil tool? If you wanted to just kind of make something look like a sketch, I mean, you literally can just sketch things with the pencil tool. I mean, again, that's kind of hard to pull off, I think. I made a logo once where I did that, and I wish I could remember the name of the company. But it was pretty cool. Oh, it was like the name of the restaurant was after a book, and I could see the guy. He was on a horse. Well, it'll come to me tonight at like 3 a.m. I'll be like, it was called this. Nobody cares anymore. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of come on. And this is what I mean. Sometimes you get like you know, you want to have some good points there. Like that's not going to scale well. You can get some of your, you know, your basic shapes in, and then you can go in and use the Pathfinder tool to kind of fix things. Maybe I don't need the whole bottle, just the illusion of a bottle. Let's think about that for a second. I don't like the top right here. You know, the whole point of the font is it's messy. You know, it's a messy font. So it's not so much that I need to have a really clean bottle drawing, but I still want people to know it's a bottle, obviously. Oh, come on. I don't like that. Oh. Layers. Let's see. Hmm. Need something to, I think that the bottle needs to be smaller because without the rest of it, you can't tell that it's a bottle. So I think we need to get it a little bit smaller. can't even see what I'm doing. A little bit better. Maybe we show some sloshing milk. Hmm. Hmm. No. Need a gray for a second so I can see what I'm doing. All right, so that's kind of starting to come together. I mean, I still would need this to be all black though, so. Oh, that still works in all black. All right, so that's one of my concepts with the bottle. And I mean, I can, I can test this and see how it's going to work, by uploading it to somewhere and looking. So I probably would do that next week when I added some color to it. But all right. So there's one. I do kind of like where the text layout is going with this and the circle. So I'm going to do a file save as for this. I'm going to make a number 2. Make sure they're both in there. Turn off my bottles. I'm just gonna, I want to find that pacifier, the baby with the pacifier. Trying to do the same thing. And it's like I want a baby looking straight on, kind of like, none of these kids have a pacifier. um, that's a good. All right, Adobe stock. I'm going to do a screenshot because I'm just redrawing it. And then put in baby. And honestly, I should probably just use a picture of my own. Probably be easier. And I don't have to worry about copyright. And find that pacifier. I'll just mask it out real quick. Does it need to be perfect? No, because I'm going to redraw it in Illustrator. I just want to not see the white background over the face. Make my life a little bit, just a smidge easier. Oh, Photoshop changing quick keys for no reason. Neither of my kids use pacifiers, so I do not have a picture of either of my children with a pacifier. I don't want any preset. I don't, use classic. Thank you. But I don't have a ratio in. Oh my gosh. No. Oh. All right, I'll figure you out later. I can't tell if it's me or the program at this point. And that is just creepy. Mm. I'm looking for a good filter that will give me some lines I can follow. Only I want it to be. Of course you won't let me. Now you may be thinking to yourself, that's really weird. Why are you doing that? But I'm going to find something where I can, trace just kind of the edges of the color is what my game plan is here. I'll copy this into Illustrator. And honestly, I should have just started out with a new file, but just delete these layers. So first things first, mask out the head. Try to make him look as non-creepy as possible because that already looks a little creepy. But he has hair. I'm not gonna lie, the eyes are probably going to be the hardest not to be weird, because this is already getting a little weird, but it could be because I'm drawing on top of it. And again, because it's a logo, I don't want there to be this to be like this huge illustration. You know, it needs to be simple. So oh, well, the wrong layer. Nope. Nope. Oh, come on. There you are. Nope, that is not you. All right. Oh, I hate how it keeps defaulting to that. I might get rid of that. there's some weird setting going on right now where, oh, here it is. It's snapping to the point. So and that's not what I want to do, because it keeps selecting a point I've drawn instead of letting me draw next to the point. Every time there's an update, I feel like all of my things that I've, my little preferences that I've changed for myself all get messed up again. Drives me bananas. I know it's not just me. It's like everyone else has said the same thing. They're like, can you just stop? He kind of looks like he has a goatee, not a pacifier. Maybe he needs my bottle from the other one. Don't see. Give him one little chubby cheek over here. Oh, I can't see what I'm doing. So something like that, and then putting work, yeah, mama like this. Which I need another fun kid font. So let's see. Um, nope, clearly not what I meant for those fonts. Probably decorative. Definitely for a heading. Thick with a lot of contrast. Only 3. Sure. All right, let's try this again. Don't like any of those. How about hand drawn? I feel like I might be able to do something with this. Let's try Astoundr. Come on. Also, save my little illustrated baby. Another circle. Probably something like this size. I gotta see. And tip tool. Come on. Maybe something like that. Um, want that to get like way bigger. Come on. Oh my gosh, just let me select it. This is the only reason why I don't like working with type on a path. Trying to select things, oh, it drives me bananas, 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 bananas. Maybe put you over here. Put you on your own layer. So this is my baby. And type. I don't like the difference in the spacing on this. So I'm gonna work on it on my type layer. That's why you always want to make a type layer. Randomly enough, if I was in InDesign right now, I would have the option I'm looking for, which is tilt shift, and I don't know why they don't have it in Illustrator as well. I want to tilt shift it negative. Let's see. Not uniform. I feel like maybe God, we adjust. Give me one solid. Mama should run on the inside, which means I need a bigger circle. Come on. There we go. Oh, and it's still not going to let me grab these. Why? Ugh. All right, I like that better, but I think we need to lose that one. And maybe do something like this. No. Well, the moving work away seems to. Let's bring you over here. That's kind of on the right path. I kind of still wish that he had a pacifier, but I guess the bottle does work. So save this one. And then I'm almost wondering if, no, I just feel like there should be something here to tie it together. I don't know. Yeah, it's almost like work does need to be a little bit bigger. Like I wanted it to kind of be like work is not as important. Not like it's not as important, but although moving it's kind of working. kind of works a little bit better. Maybe just... I'm just not feeling... I want the exclamation point, I think, just not there. This thing has like way too many points. Maybe something like... Oops. Maybe something like this. Although I still think, yeah, that work needs to be larger. Let me make a copy of this one. Oops, grab a view. All right, I think that that's coming along better. He doesn't look so much like a creepy baby now. He's at least, and this is pretty large. You know, this is, gosh, like 28 inches. So, I mean, this is a large illustration. So I'm okay with I'm okay with that. All right. Well, to kind of wrap it up today, so you can see, you know, there's a couple of different ways that you can go about making these illustrations. I kind of showed you two different ways. You know, one, just downloading a photo and drawing over the photo, like with the bottle, and the other, bringing a photo into Photoshop, kind of, you know, messing with it until it becomes just colors in a way, and then following those colors, you know, working with your type. Don't just, again, don't just typeset something, you know, really design your type here and, you know, work and manipulate your type. So I can't wait to see your designs this week. And if you have any questions, any concerns, please email me. And otherwise, do you have any questions before we go today?
No, none.
Okay. Well, have a great day, and I will see you guys next week.